Alright everybody, what is going on? Welcome to Capture the Frag, your #1 source for all shooter gaming news. I'm your host, BLUMONKEY, and in this week's news, Outriders doing surprisingly well in its first month, Destiny 2 crossplay beta going live soon, we got a couple Overwatch 2 updates, as well as some Overwatch 1 updates, and again, more Call of Duty Warzone cheaters, as well as some Warzone patch notes. Guys, I want to remind you that leaving a like on the video does help the channel out a ton, and if you want to see videos just like this every single week, be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Outriders in its first month surpasses 3.5 million unique players. That's right, over 3.5 million unique players in its first month. This is, quite frankly, a shock to me. Any game that's tried to challenge Destiny 2 in the past has basically fallen flat on their face, and so far, they seem to be doing surprisingly well. Now, Square Enix released a couple statistics about the game. As of May 1st, it says Outriders has been played for over 120 million hours, with the average playtime reaching 31 hours. The Trickster is the most popular class, with 27.9% of players choosing that path, followed by the Pyromancer, Technomancer, and Devastator. The most used ability is the Trickster's Slow Trap. There has been 1.6 quadrillion points of total damage, 9.2 billion peripheral kills, 20 billion total kills, 1.9 trillion scrap collected, and 457 billion titanium pieces collected. This all comes from IGN. Thank you, Adam Bankhurst. Thank you so much for compiling all this information. It also says the most popular legendary weapons are the Death Shield and Funeral Pyre. And here's the catch. Here's the real big one. The player with the most amount of playtime has 797 hours of playtime. I mean, is there even that many hours in a month? That doesn't seem to make sense to me. 24 hours in a day times 30, 240. What, do they leave the game up literally the entire time since launch? They must have been trying for that or something. There also is a patch with the game designed, quote, primarily to address the damage mitigation issue. The patch was planned to go live on May 20th, so it should be live now. In other news, Destiny 2 crossplay beta coming in just a couple days. Actually, it might be live by the time this video goes up. So as we know, Bungie has been planning crossplay for quite some time now, and there was actually, at the beginning of the season, a bug that caused crossplay to accidentally go live. Bungie states, even though this was caused by a bug, we saw players mingling between platforms, which was awesome. That said, we needed to smash that bug like a subscribe button to get our release back on track. Back on track meaning that Season 15 is still set to go live August 24. Now, as far as the crossplay beta, there's basically a specific playlist that you can go into where crossplay will be live. Now, you can't form a fire team. It's all just kind of random matchmaking. It's just to kind of test out how it goes, the smoothness of it, and all in all to see how close Bungie is to fully releasing that crossplay feature. So unfortunately, you won't be able to party up with your friends on other consoles just yet, but if you do play 3 of the special strikes where crossplay is active, you will get a pretty unique emblem. It's called the Star-Crossed emblem, and in my opinion, it's sick as hell. Who doesn't love collecting emblems in games, especially as Destiny 2 players? And in Overwatch 2 news, the team recently announced that Overwatch 2 will shrink PvP size from 6 people to 5 people per team. According to IGN, the team comp will now comprise of 2 damage classes, 2 support classes, and 1 tank instead of 2. Overwatch director Aaron Keller says that the change will help clean up the combat and create a more fluid gameplay style. Now, if we watch the footage in the background, you can see just that, because here's the thing. In Overwatch 1, you basically have 2 tanks at the front of each team, both with their shields up, and the rest of the team firing behind them through the shields. And to me, that's just not fun. Granted, there is a lot more complexity to the game than just that. That is a massive oversimplification, but those of you who do play Overwatch have come across this issue quite a few times, and honestly, it just gets stale. Blizzard also says that the tanks will perform more like a brawler class. And not only that, each of the different roles will get an additional passive bonus. Tanks will have knockback reduction and reduce ultimate charge gain when taking damage from enemies. If you're fucking flat firing into a tank, your ult is gonna actually charge slower. Interesting. But could again call for some a little bit of variety as far as gameplay. So that's going to be a little strategic element. Damage heroes will get a movement speed bonus, and support will have automatic self-healing if they don't take damage for a certain period of time. Kind of like Zenyatta. This all sounds great to me. Now, fans of the current Overwatch meta of the current Overwatch setup, I guess you could say. Might be a little bit thrown off by this, off-put maybe, but I think we should remain optimistic. Again, if you take a look at the gameplay here, and especially if Blizzard nails the map design for Overwatch 2, specifically for the PvP portion of the game, I think it's going to leave a lot more room for flanking, a lot more room for clutch plays, and just a lot more variety game to game. And I think that, honestly, a little change of pace is what we could all use for us Overwatch players. Now, given that there's parity between Overwatch and Overwatch 2, that means that when Overwatch 2 goes live, team size will also be reduced in Overwatch 1 to 5 instead of 6. So just watch out for that. Pretty big changes coming there. We do have a new map reveal. The map is called Monte Carlo, based off of the popular vacation destination. It looks pretty freaking sick. A lot of skyscrapers, luxury buildings, little neon lights going on there. Pretty tight. And another thing that Blizzard mentioned is that they are working on more maps than just Toronto for the push game mode. For those of you who don't know, the push game mode is pretty similar to the escort the payload game mode, except for basically the payload goes both ways. So there's this robot named TWO, and he pushes these 2 bricks. One brick is facing towards your team, and one brick is facing towards the enemy's team, and the goal is to essentially push the opponent's brick into their base. So you're actually escorting the robot, which means that if you're pushing the brick into the enemy's base and your team dies, when the enemy gains control of TWO, the robot will literally run back to the other brick. Like, he moves way faster when he's not pushing something. And again, as you can see from the footage, it basically creates a bunch of different team brawl situations. And the winner is, again, if you push the brick all the way to the enemy's team. According to them, that doesn't happen very often. So your goal is to see who can get TWO to push the enemy team's brick the furthest. Sounds pretty interesting. Sounds pretty fun. Definitely a different shake-up, again, to the, kind of classic Overwatch theme, while still remaining within that theme. And I'm personally really excited for this. Now, I just want to note that I think we should remain optimistic towards Overwatch 2's PvE game modes. I think we're all thinking of like those couple PvE events that released a little while back, where you kind of just mowed down waves and waves of mindless robots, and it just wasn't very fun. But I think with the Overwatch cast of characters and the mechanics of the game, if they implement like good enemy mechanics, good boss mechanics, and have like, multi-phase fights, they're, I'm thinking almost like Destiny 2 style, or even any type of game with advanced combat mechanics. I think this could be super freaking fun. Now you might say, okay, it might be fun, but obviously everybody is going to be playing Overwatch 2 for the PvP. Why are they delegating so many resources to the PvE aspect of the game? And to that I have to say, I don't know. I mean, you're probably right. You're probably right. Everybody's probably going to play through the PvE mode maybe once or twice, unless there's some like really, really sick, unique rewards that you can only get from the PvE game modes. But all in all, especially from the PvP footage that I have for you here today, PvP in Overwatch 2 still looks very alive and well, and I am personally very excited for when this game releases. And real quick, before we leave the topic of Overwatch, the Overwatch Anniversary event is now live. The event runs until June 8th, so get in there, get your skins. Oh, and by the way, it's kind of cool how you earn skins for this anniversary event. It's not just through loot boxes, it's every 9th, 18th, and 27th game you play in quick play, arcade, and competitive modes gets you a special event related reward, which is pretty sick. There's actually a definitive in-game way to earn these new skins, aside from just randomly coming from loot boxes, which I think is fucking awesome. Moving on to Call of Duty. Here we go again with more Warzone cheaters. So in order to address this issue, we kind of have to take a step back and talk about the new patch that just went live. It's the 80s Action Heroes patch. It allows you to pick up RAMBO and John McClane as part of 2 different operator bundles that both come with their own unique set of rewards. In addition to that, the Warzone map was altered. So I don't know if you guys have seen Die Hard, but Nakatomi Plaza, the original skyscraper setting for the first Die Hard movie, has actually popped up in Verdansk. I don't know. Nakatomi Plaza replaced the broadcast tower. So there are literally 5 floors of playable space inside Nakatomi Plaza, and there's even a special Warzone vault that you can unlock in there. In addition to this, they also set up a CIA outpost in hangars and several survival camps around the map, obviously in reference to RAMBO, specifically RAMBO First Blood Part 2. The patch also introduced a new game mode called Power Grab, which is basically a combination of Battle Royale and Kill Confirmed. Pretty interesting. So it's basically Battle Royale, but the circle is smaller. There's no gulag. There's no loadouts. So if you die, your teammates will have to pay to revive you. And you don't earn rewards just by killing enemies. You actually have to pick up the dog tags off of your fallen enemies. It's almost like a hardcore battle royale mode. Now, I haven't personally jumped into this, but I like how they're changing it up a little bit. I'm not too much of a battle royale player myself, but I like how they're introducing a little bit of variety into the Warzone game mode. So back to the cheaters, right? So as we just mentioned, Nakatomi Plaza is going up in Warzone, and there are a number of map exploits that allow you to get under the map, which players are most definitely taking advantage of. This from GameSpot. It says Warzone's update on April 28 addressed some of the map exploits for Verdansk, god damn it, whatever, but Raven Software acknowledged that more weak points need to be patched. This is also evident by all the frustrated players still sharing clips of being undermined by cheaters under the map at various points of interest. It's unclear how long this will take, but be wary of landing at places with lots of exploits such as Verdansk Airport, Stadium, and train station. Also, there's another issue going on that you guys might have run into if you've been playing Warzone. Game freezing. Potentially tied to looting M60s in-game, as if the M60 could get any worse in Warzone. But players have reported that when looting an M60, the game freezes up. It's only for like 1 to 3 seconds. But if you play Battle Royales, you know that 1 to 3 seconds can be the difference between a W and a big fat L. So this is pretty frustrating. Now, Raven Software was pretty quick about patching the glitched gas mask. So ideally, and hopefully, they will be on top of these glitches, exploits, and other nonsense sooner rather than later. So we're going to leave on a hopeful note, guys. If you like the video, again, be sure to leave a like. It really does help the channel out a ton. If you want to see another video next week, just like this, be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell. Let me know what you think of this week's news down in the comments. And until next week, I'm Blue Monkey, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.